Yeah.
Good gaming, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Nigder, and today we're gonna watch some new play cEDH. We're going back today on the July 4th, which is nothing for us up north in Canada. This is a game from a fun night at the Scruffy Octopus. In turn order, we're gonna have Tayam Nadu Winota and Thada Adel. Tayam is a try to get some counters and do some graveyard shenanigans. Nadu is Nadu. So you want to get Nadu, you want to get a 0 CMC, 1 CMC but 0 equipment. Like you're saying, like Shuko or Umbral Mental. Then we've got Winota. Winota wants to get some non-human stacks creature, and then she will swing out with them and reveal the top and choose a human to get into play. I don't remember exactly if it's... I believe it's when non-human attack, you can go get a human. Well, check top something and go get human. And Thada Adel is a super passive commander. However, she is Island Walk, and whenever she attacks, she can exile. She can search in your opponent's library and grab any artifact and cast it for herself. So Thada Adel could easily go get turn one cast commander. Turn 2, you attack and get a mana crypt. Turn 3, you attack and get a One Ring, and you can start and do some crazy shenanigans. He could go and steal Nadu's Shuko, which would be kind of nice. So we're gonna have some Gemstone Cavern shenanigans. Pay attention to what he is going to exile, which is a Solitude. Then Tayam goes Center Garden Bird and LED right after. Center Garden is one of his combo pieces. He can give +2/+3 to Devoted Druid, and then he can go infinite with that. Nadu, fetch land, the pass, Winota, fetch land, shortcut into something. Gonna get Plateau and pop out the Serra Ascendant. And he will pass. So Thada Adel will land Manifold Key. Tayam drops Gavoni Township. Gavoni Township is a land that you pay 4, tap, and put a +1/+1 on each creature. Hells of Deep Shadow. So I've had a discussion with the Tayam pilot and asking him which card is not a combo card, and he's telling me, well, they are so short on slots that pretty much every card is a combo card or a ramp spell. So Gavoni, you see it, Center Garden, Gavoni, Township, both counter generator. Nadu will go for Mystical Tutor. Will Tutor for Fabricate. And of course they're all saying Fabricate into Shuko. But it is a high cost to go get a Shuko. So it go fetch Tropical Island, exile a Simian Spirit Guide, and he'll tap his land to shortcut to go cast Fabricate. That way he can go get his Tropical Island and his One Ring. So sure, he will fetch a One Ring, which is kind of weird. At this point I would have went for, I don't know, Mana Crypt, something. Serras, and then swing out on the Nadu. Would have been wonderful if the The thing is, Boros never use their lives, so it could be useful to find something that does go in it. And I just peering into Thada Adel is a wonderful end, but one land. So it is a good idea to always be a little bit more aggressive on the mulligan. So I'm still wondering how to put my recording gear. So now it's kind of different. Microphone is on my left, pointing to my voice so that you don't hear the Oh, really? So technically, I believe the microphone itself is blocking the puff. However, I need to buy myself a pop filter. Pop filter, well, it's pop filter or windscreen. Eidolon of Rhetoric. The wonderful rule of law in creatures. Personally, I would hate to have that on board, but it works. Nadu plays Sylvan Safekeeper. So it's kind of a straightforward game. No blue around the table. Nadu, well, no blue. My apologies. Thada Adel is blue and Nadu is blue. But Thada Adel is in no position to try counterspelling everything. So at this point, I would just be a little bit more stay on the plan. No need to be ballsy. Nobody's going to outspeed you. The biggest issue is if Nadu goes on the board with a Shuko or something. But at this point, it's going to be on Thada Adel to mental misstep or do something else. Because Boros is not going to be answering. And I always forget which tie is Tayam. Magic wedges. Wedge. Habsen. Is it? Habsen. Black, white, and green. It's also named Nekra or Junk, which was the old name for these wedges. Yeah, okay. Tayam being popped onto the field. If you have a counter creature spell, counter Tayam. Nadu goes for one ring. And he is calling it. He's calling. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna have a nope on the one ring. But if Thada Adel cannot have a one ring, nobody else is gonna have one. Which is kind of not cool, but whatever. Rionia Fire Dancer. So beginning of combat, you create X token, where X is 1 plus the number of instant or sorcery you casted this turn. So it can actually go crazy if he decides to either copy the Professional Facebreaker, which would give him 4 treasure, maybe 6, depending on where he's able to go. Or he could just copy Serra Ascendant and make a 6/6, another 6/6 flying lifelink. So while the player is saying I want to go to combat, Tayam is gonna dismember the Rionia. So at least not gonna get extra copies. I believe that the Serra Ascendant to Tayam and Professional Facebreaker to Thada Adel. Gonna be able to make 2 treasures from that. So I don't remember, because at the beginning of this turn he dropped an ancient tomb and then he dropped another land, or he fetched something. No. Oh, he may have shortcutted and went to get something with the flooded strand. So Thada Adel, still no land, complaining that he kept a fire hand, but you need to know that fire hand goes nowhere. You need to make sure that you got some stuff to do. Otherwise, you do that the Thada Adel, you believe you're going to do something and you don't do a lot. Tayam player will activate the Gavani Township. Like I was saying, it will put a +1/+1 on each creature you control. So you'll get 5 counter, 1 per creature. This gets 6, goes up to 6 counters. He doesn't have a lot of mana though. Well, saying that, but he has a Gaia's Cradle, which could be 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. If he adds, if he doesn't drop a land or doesn't do anything else. So Nadu plays Nadu. Turn 5. Nadu pass to Winota. Winota will drop Slicer, Iron Muscle, with more than meet the eyes. So at each upkeep, he can give it to someone, and that someone, and then it's golden, and it needs to attack. Serra Ascendant swinging out. Slicer as aced. Slicer goes to Nadu. Sway of Illusion will target Nadu and Sylvan Safekeeper. You will get some triggers for Nadu. Mental Misstep. And Veil of Summer. Resolves and draw a card. Shows something, but he didn't have to reveal anything. So 2 on Thada Adel, 6 on Tayam, and I believe 6 or 5. Makes 4 treasures. So on upkeep, you can give Slicer to someone. It is goaded, so it has to go somewhere. Slicer swings out to Nadu. Question is, does he send Slicer to Tayam? And he does not. So Tayam saying, I'm gonna bait the counterspell. Tries to get Young Wolf out. Mental Misstep. Young Wolf is, like I'm gonna say, another combo piece. So he needs a Undying creature, he needs a Sack Outlet and Tayam, and of course Mana Maker. But it is kind of, it is super useful to have that. So they are doing some friendly banter, asking, are we really being recorded? Yes, Winota, yes, you are being recorded. I'm never sure when I will actually edit the video, but Tayam drops Colonel Autumn. So every time a creature exploits, he will be able to put a +1/+1 on each of his creature. Bring back Colonel Autumn. Colonel Autumn exploit itself because it gives exploit to all other legendary creature. And he had +1/+1 on each of his creature. Nadu draw pass. At this point, I'm not sure why. So the 2 biggest threat is Winota and Tayam. Tayam way far ahead. Winota tries to go to combat. Tries to cast Winota. On Winota, there is a Tayam activation. will get a Skull Winder. So Tayam brings a card back in his hand. Thada Adel can choose one of his cards in his graveyard to bring it back. He will bring back Force of Will. And of course, Force of Will right away to Winota. That is the only reason why Tayam grabbed Skull Winder. Second activation. Flips Nature's Chosen, which is a super good enchantment. Allows you to untap your Gaea's Cradle to, well, it's 0. Tap your creature to tap a legendary white to untap a target creature, artifact, or land. And then 0 to untap that creature. So we can tap Tayam to untap Gaea's Cradle. So full swing on Tayam. Tayam will -5/-5 the Serra Ascendant. So Serra Ascendant is now back to a 1/1 status. Sack LED to make 3 mana. Will put a Tayam activation on the stack. On Tayam triggers, Nadu wants to do something. So a ton of mana, 7 mana. He will exile phase out 17. Phasing out, of course, phasing out Nadu and Sylvan Safekeeper, so we'll get to Nadu triggers. Eladamri, Tayam, Eidolon, Bird, and Elves of Deep Shadows. We'll show a Tribute Mage and a Force of Vigor. So everything phase out. So Egos get Devoted Druid. So there's a 1/1. Not a lot of creatures. Will be it for 4. Slicer gets transformed. If he swing out with Slicer, he will be able to nearly kill Nadu. Dealt damage when player makes a treasure from Facebreaker. Super lucky draw, top deck, insane. He gets an island, so he gets second land off the game. So every upkeep, he needs to decide if he gives Slicer or not. Slicer is giving Slicer, but I don't see why I would attack Tayam. I would kick Nadu. So blocks with the Skull Winder. Passes the turn to Tayam. So that was a flashed Force of Vigor. So he's asking if he can go on the draw, and he draws. So Tayam as priority. He is the one that can put something on the stack first. So Cradle, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Cradle for 5, 6. Why 5? 6. So put Center Garden on the stack. Center Garden is threshold 1. Sack Center Garden. Give +2/+3 to a Devoted Druid to a target. It is the Cephalid Coliseum and the Barbarian Ring. Wow, okay. Professional Facebreaker tries to exile an answer. Gemstone not gonna work. Skyclave Apparition that doesn't has flash. So he's thinking about what can I get to go answer that. And his answer, I'm like, I need to get Solitude. And I'm not sure if you remember what happened at the beginning of the game. So, oops. His only answer is actually the one that he used to get Gemstone Cavern out. So, yep. He will continue to dig, try to find a Sword to Plowshare or a removal. Even if he has a removal, he's gonna have infinite mana. He can recast. No, he has infinite green, which is not the same. Ethersworn Canonist. I don't even know what that is, but I believe it's an extra combat step. So right now, Silence, which could be useful. But then again, Tayam is not casting anything. I don't remember if Elves of Deep Shadows gives a black. Force of Vigor, trying to kill the Eidolon and the Nature's Chosen. On that, Thada Adel will cast Born Upon a Wind, mostly to draw a card. And nope. So he's gonna activate Nature's Chosen to tap Tayam to untap Gas Cradle, and then pay 0 to untap target creature, and tap Enchanted Creature. And after that, Force of Vigor will resolve. So before resolving, he's putting more Gas Cradle into his mana, into his pool. Oh, because it's gonna kill. Yeah, it's gonna kill his Eidolon Friedrich, so he's gonna lose 1 mana. So he better activate Cradle before. So we'll cast Silence. Kind of useless. Tayam doesn't cast anything. Taps and Silence. Centaur Garden will resolve on Devoted Druid. So at that point, he can actually tap for 1. Tap for 1 green, untap -1/-1, but it is a 4/4 at this point. So we can do that infinitely to get 3 green and 3 counters. With 3 and 3, he can activate Tayam. So that way he has infinite activation of Tayam. So his win con will be go do that specific number and time until he get a Sack Outlet and Orcish Bowmaster. And then he'll do that activation by sacking Bowmaster, bringing back Bowmaster to deal 1 multiple times to their opponent. That way he's gonna be able to kill everyone and not cast a single thing. Congratulations to the Tayam player. If you learned something, please leave a comment. Don't hesitate to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next game.